What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? My name is Nathan. I am one half of your Hill Brothers, and I am back after a very long day in the Queen City, up at the Hilton up there in Charlotte, North Carolina, where the ACC, day 3 of the ACC Kickoff was today, and we were able to get up there and have a good time and enjoy ourselves, man. We were, for the first time ever, we were able to be credentialed to go to one of these events. This was something that I did not know would even be legitimately possible. It was floated to me about a year ago, right around the ACC kickoff of last year. The idea was thrown out to me. I didn't think it would actually come to fruition, but it did, man. And we had ourselves an amazing time. So in this video / live stream, because this is a live stream currently going on right now, we are going to take a look at what North Carolina fans, what we as fans can take from what was actually talked about today. So we did a live stream right after the event, or right after North Carolina was done with their breakout rooms and everything else. And we kind of just talked about the event and everything that was kind of cool. Some stuff, we got into a little bit of this, but not a whole lot. But right now, what we're going to do is break down into this stuff, man, because to me, as a North Carolina fan, being able to see it live and in living color, it was actually I took a lot from what North Carolina's players had to say and also what Bill Belichick had to say. First and foremost, and Alan hit on it in the wrap up that we did, the post ACC kickoff live stream that we did, kind of quick reaction, is that Bill Belichick has really found himself a personality. I felt like today he really started to showcase, maybe who he could be moving forward for us, man. He's a interesting guy. We've always known him to be very media shy. He doesn't seem to like media. And there were moments at times where you obviously saw that, where he was like his opening monologue, very low, just kind of just working through it, but he actually went for a little bit longer than I thought he would. Now, he's not going to beat Mac Brown anytime soon. I think that's safe to assume, but no, Bill came out and he started talking about the team. He started talking about, the preparation they've been doing, and he understands the pressure that's on them coming into this season, which is unlike any that North Carolina has saw in quite some time. Seriously, when you bring the 8-time Super Bowl champion, 6 as a head coach to the University of North Carolina, bring them down, it's going to bring pressure and it's going to bring expectations. And with that, you get some cool benefits like today, seeing the media today, hearing about how, we were talking to Andrew Jones of THI. He was talking to us about how, like, dude, this, like, the size of the amount of media that was there today. He's like, it's like 4 or 5 times what it normally is during these events. And, a lot of people, that wasn't just him saying that, there was a lot of people that ended up saying that as well, that Carolina drew all this attention because of Bill, and it was ungodly, man, at how many people were there. A lot of the stuff you guys are going to see in our vlog that's going to be going up tomorrow. The second that I'm done with this, I'll be starting to work on that, and that thing will go up first thing tomorrow for you guys. That way you guys can see that. But there's a lot of things to break down with that as well. But Bill Belichick, went in and talked about, a lot of questions were asked about Dabo Swinney and his relationship with Dabo. And obviously he's going to put Dabo over, they're good friends. Bill even talked about how a lot of the players that are there today with Dabo, like, he was recruiting, or not recruiting, but he was scouting to potentially draft. And here he is, playing against them, and right here in just it's a number of weeks now. So he talked about that. He talked about the preparation for the team. He was asked about the TCU game, and he very quickly said that, TCU's down the road. We understand it's coming, but we're worried about just stacking days. So a lot of coaches speak was there. A lot of avoidance of certain questions was there, and that's typical for any coach. We were actually there for all the coaches meetings today, and all of them except for NC State. That's just because we were so busy with North Carolina, and we don't really care to go to NC State anyway. But when listening to all his coaches, obviously it's coaches speak. Every team's going to go win the national championship. They're ready. They're the best they've ever been. They're bigger, stronger, faster. They're all these different things that we hear every single year. So that was what that was. But one of the biggest things is I wanted to see the players, and the players came up today. And as a matter of fact, I've got a couple of questions on here that I was able to ask, one to Thaddeus and one to Gio Lopez. I ended up being able to ask a question to everybody that was there today. Bill, Ship, Will, Thad, and Gio as well. So I was able to get a question to all of them. I don't have all the clips of each of the questions that I asked, but you guys will see that in the vlog that we're going to be doing. So check those out. And I'll also probably post them as well, singular clips like I've already done. So if you haven't saw anything from the ACC kickoff from our page, go check it out. We're actually going to be looking at a couple of clips that you guys can check out, but I'll be posting more as the night goes on and as tomorrow goes on and as the weekend goes on. Some of the questions that I was able to ask, 3 of which were actually on the main live broadcast. So if you got to see the main live broadcast, you saw me and Alan, and you got to see us ask those questions, so you know what they are. But let's go ahead and break down. I want to break down Thaddeus Dixon first. I love this guy. This guy is awesome. So when he had when the first press conference was held a number of weeks ago, where we got players, we got Thad, Christo, Ship, and Will. Thaddeus Dixon was the one that stuck out to me the most. We made a video on this where we talked about how the confidence in which he came out with, and he just oozed aura and oozed confidence, and it was very striking to me. As a North Carolina fan, we all understand our defense has not been great for a while now. And saying a while is being very generous. We're talking 25, 30 years at this point in time. There was attempt at the Butch Davis years, yes, but for the most part, we haven't saw a legit defense since the 90s coming to Carolina. But the confidence in which he spoke was very impactful to me as a fan. And I was kind of curious about that. So, when he was up on the podium, I got to ask him the question, like, Thaddeus, you're experienced guy. We've talked about that on this channel, the experience that he brings. And when he made the 12-0 comment a couple of weeks ago on Twitter, I talked about, like, hey, this is a guy that's been to the national championship game. He knows what it takes to get there. And for him to be speaking with such a just emboldened, confident stance of, like, hey, we could go win every single game. We believe that we could do that, and you guys need to get on the same page as us. For him to have that kind of personality coming through, that was very big for me. So I wanted to expound on that. So I asked him about, and while he was at the podium during the main press conference, asked him about the experience still. What does he do with the DB room, helping them out, because it's been a sketchy DB room, to say the least. There's been a couple of bright spots at times, Will Hardy being one of them, Marcus Allen being another. But for the most part, the defensive backs for North Carolina have had some issues. So I asked him about that, and he talked about how he comes in and he tries to bring that energy, bring that rah-rah to the guys each and every day and bring them up. But then I also asked him another question later on about the confidence, because that's what I wanted to get down to. Like, where is this confidence coming from? Because I love it to death. So let's take a quick look at this video really fast. I'm going to kick over here where you guys can see this, and let's go full screen on this thing and play.
You've got a energy about you that is it's amazing. Ever since the first press conference back a number of weeks ago to the 12-0 tweet on Great Day Tar Heel, I saw that. We made a video on that. I love this confidence. Where does it come from, especially considering North Carolina the last few years has not been any defensive juggernaut, to say the least?
Yes, confidence comes from my preparation. I mean, I've prepared for this. I've played in these games. I've been in these moments, and I know what it takes. Just call it like I said. I've been on quote unquote delusional fan bases. I feel like our fan base needs to get a little bit more delusional. I mean,
Hey.
it's a lot of teams out here that think they're gonna win every game, but I truly believe that.
Boom. There you go. I truly believe that coming from the guy himself. That was big for me. When he said that, I'm like, okay, this guy not only said that, but he going to stand on business because he had a chance there, kind of like Castellanos did with Alabama, who he doubled down with as well. To see him step up and be like, nah, I truly believe that. That's saying something to me because he said it with his chest and he meant what he said. Clearly, from what I gather, he seemingly very much meant what he said there. And North Carolina is going to need that. If that energy is consistently just permeating throughout and spreading throughout the entire defense. He talked a little bit about Steven Belichick and the kind of guy that he is. He's talking about he's a different kind of guy. He's a guy that is a dog man. He cares, but also he's going to get the best out of you. He's going to bring in some. And think about last year's Washington team. Their defense is what carried them through that season last year. It was not their offense. Their offense was very bad, but their defense was pretty legit. And he's bringing that tenacity, that fervor to North Carolina. And bringing Thaddeus along with him is pretty big. And I thought that one was awesome to me. I really personally enjoyed that one a whole heck of a lot because he spoke with his chest and he spoke about the true confidence that this team has and this team has in what they're doing moving forward. So I was a big fan of that comment. That was huge to me. And then later on, I asked Jordan Shipp, also on the podium, about the question of what Freddie Kitchens is doing coming from the tight end room to the offensive coordinator. And the first thing he said, he's like, well, when the change was made and Bill kept Freddie around, he says, first and foremost, he says, Bill kept Freddie around. So that means something. He saw something in him in order to keep him around. Which is true. Freddie Kitchens has been working with the tight end room. The tight end room has been very good over the last couple of years since Freddie's come in. And even though he was the interim coach for the bowl game, he wasn't calling plays or anything like that. But Freddie's an NFL guy. He is a no F's given guy. We've seen this. And I don't know personally how he's going to do as an offensive coordinator. I haven't saw that yet. But Shipp talked very highly about him. Talked about how, he's kind of unlocked him a little bit and just kind of let him fly. So I'll be curious to see what happens with that personally. Jordan Shipp was a guy that he could have left. He could have left and he could have went anywhere in the country because this guy is a natural born talent, man. He is a guy that teams are going to want to get their hands on. And for him to kind of come out and say, like, yeah, I stayed here. I stayed here for a reason. And to talk very highly about the offensive coordinator. Obviously, we don't know what this thing's going to look like yet. I'll be excited to see. But I was very pleased with that. And the biggest question that I had for Bill, and I had it for Bill, but I also followed it up with Gio as well, is I asked Bill Belichick, and I don't have the video with me right now. I do, but I don't have it sent over to my computer where you guys can see this thing. But I asked Bill personally, hey, and I had a feeling he was going to kind of slow answer me here and not give like a definitive answer, but I figured what the heck, it's the question a lot of people are kind of wondering about when it comes to North Carolina football right now as it speaks, because thankfully, there's a lot of national guys there that were asking questions that people that follow North Carolina and the beat writers of North Carolina have already heard answered. That was that, but I wanted to stick more based with the football team, what was going on with the team. And I asked Bill about the quarterback position because that's the question a lot of people are wondering. Is it going to be Gio? We all expect it to be Gio, but Max has been doing very well. He's at the Manning Passing Academy. He looks really good. Bryce Baker's there. Evidently, he may look good. Gio came in late after spring practice. What's going on? What's going on here? And he told me basically, he just kind of slow answered me a little bit. But he said, hey, they're gonna decide that. They're still battling. Everybody's in the running for the battle, and everybody's battling to be QB1, and they'll decide it. They'll be the ones that decide it. We haven't made a decision yet, but they'll decide it on the field. Okay, cool. Well, I took that and I went over to Gio because I'm curious about what Gio thinks. And I asked him really quickly about being recruited from Bill and Freddie, trying to get him to go to why he's here, and he answered the question perfectly. Let's take a quick listen over here at that one really quickly.
Now that is a bundle.
That is a bundle.
Just the mental part of things, just being able to compete when things are going your way.
Gio, when you were at South Alabama getting ready to enter the transfer portal, when Belichick and Freddie Kitchens come calling, what's the sales pitch? What are they pitching you, and what attracted you to North Carolina with those two?
Like I said earlier, when you got a sales pitch from Coach Belichick, there's not much needed. Coach Belichick calls, and it almost feels like it's not even a call to demand. When he calls you, he tells you like, "Hey, I would love for you to be on our football team and compete for a spot." I'm like, who am I to pass this up? This blessing. So I just took it on head on.
What has the process been like for you in the quarterback battle? Because the conversation between North Carolina's fan base and everything is the quarterback spot. Who's going to have that spot? What's that journey been like for you over the last few months?
For me, just taking it a day at a time and learning the offense. I can't compete for a spot if I don't know the offense. So for me, just learning the offense has been number one. But as a competitor, of course, I came here to play. Of course, I didn't come here to sit. But just putting my best foot forward and understanding that that's what Bryce and Max are doing as well. And who am I to feel like I should get hit?
Well, it actually cut him off a little bit earlier than I thought
to
to, but I didn't know that. As a matter of fact, I gotta double check that as to why it did that. But basically, to kind of finish up the answer that he gave there, he was talking about like, hey, I'm not just because I've come in here and obviously I expect to play. It doesn't mean that I've come in and I just can be expected. I can just expect to just have this spot handed to me. I haven't earned anything yet. I got to earn it on the field, and it was beautiful, man. I'm gonna put the full. I don't know why it cut off there, so I'll double check that. I was actually doing a little bit of editing on the road, super safe, but so yeah, he answered that question perfectly, and because I wanted to know, number one, why did he come here? What's the sales pitch from Bill and Freddie, and really what I'm trying to get down to is like, okay, what are they telling you in order for you to get here? Is it like, hey, we need a starting quarterback, you could be great, let's bring you in, or what is it? And he kind of started to answer the question like, hey, when you get a call from them, who am I to say no? Okay, cool. But then I asked him about the quarterback battle, and when we got to that question there, and that answer, me and Alan both looked at each other and was like, dude, that answer is great. Because yes, he obviously acknowledges like, I came here to play, but he also understands that he hasn't earned anything yet. And just because of what he did at South Alabama in his true freshman year, doesn't mean he's going to get to just walk on campus and be like, hey, I'm the guy, fall behind my feet. I'm going to lead this with Bill. He wants to play. He expects to play, or he came in to play, but he still has to go earn it against Max Johnson, a guy who has thrown a ton of passes in the SEC, been in there for 4 years, and also a guy in Bryce Baker, who's a very highly touted quarterback prospect that just walked onto the campus in North Carolina. Everybody says that could be the next. He could be the next guy, like the next Drake or the next Sam or whatever the case may be. So, in my opinion, yes, I do truly believe that Gio Lopez is more than likely going to be walking out as the quarterback for the North Carolina Tar Heels. But I like the mindset of, hey, he understands whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen, and I got to go earn it on the field. And for me, I started to go through all these questions and everything, but here's the part of it I want to get to. What can we as fans take from this? Number one, this is a very confident team. That is, especially the defensive side of the ball, for sure. To see the way that Thaddeus, being a leader in that room, has spoke so highly of the defense, that I like. He's confident, and guys can be fake confident. We saw a little bit of that today. Virginia Tech was one of them. Brent Pry. I tell you one thing, that man sounded defeated. He sounded so defeated, but he tried to play off this, hey, we're confident. We got a tough group. But then those things that he would say that would completely backtrack on that. Belichick seems to be pretty excited about what's happening with North Carolina and where this team is headed. Obviously, he understands there's some unknowns here. Like, hey, we don't know exactly what we're going to be like yet, but we're just stacking good days on top of each other. The guys, they're going out, they're training, they're dropping, fat and getting their body weight right. And a lot of times when we do these 2-week breaks in the middle of when we get to these 2-week breaks and during training, they come back and they're in even better shape than we saw them the last couple of weeks. So I like where that I like seeing that, because that lets me know that players are bought in, and under this team, you gotta be. And I think this team has no other choice but to be. And North Carolina does have some very confident individuals, and I do believe that these individuals are speaking for the team, because I haven't saw anything like this out of North Carolina in a while. I honestly don't know if I've ever saw North Carolina sound so confident with every player that comes up, be like, yeah. Like we're going to be fine here. Like we're good. That spoke volumes to me, and I'm looking forward to seeing what is in store for us in the future. Fall practice. It's that time. Fall practice starts next week, and we're going to be keeping it locked in to see where Carolina goes from here. Really praying for no injuries. That's for sure. I want to see this team healthy against a healthy TCU team. Both teams ready to rock night one with ESPN Countdown, which is basically going to be game day. But considering it's on a Monday, they can't have game day. They announced today. I'm looking forward to seeing what that's going to be like. This is an exciting time for North Carolina and North Carolina football and the fan base. The games, all the games are sold out now. All of them are sold. Like, obviously, you can go buy the tickets off of the secondary market, but all the base tickets are sold out. Every single one of them, which is awesome. So that's for every game too. So that I like a lot. We'll talk about that a little bit more this weekend. Sunday Tar Heel, I would definitely say tune in to Sunday Tar Heel. Keep an eye there, because we're going to have a lot to talk about when it comes to this. Some of the other things that was talked about this week, we have a brand new mandate that was come down from the president today. We have so many different things that's going on in college football in North Carolina, looking at the SEC, which is something that's been floated around between North Carolina circles over the last few days, but it came out publicly big time today. So yeah, a lot to talk about North Carolina football wise. And also, I would say tune in a little bit to some of the conversations that we were able to have with some people today. We can let you guys in on some stuff, not a ton, but some stuff, because there are some confidential things there. But no, we had some good conversations with some people today, and I really enjoyed that. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little quick breakdown reaction. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. This has been a live stream that I'm doing this on, but I will be putting it over the whole VOD over as its own separate video right here. The second the stream is done and over with, I'm going to bring it over, edit it down, send it over. That way you guys can see this again. And anybody that's watching this live stream after it's over with, or this a video after it's over with, let me know what you guys thought of the press conferences and everything down below. Be sure and tune in to our ACC Kickoff 2025 Media Day Deal vlog coming out tomorrow being Friday the 25th, where you guys can see just what we did all day and the experience. You see us getting to experience something like this for the first time. It was a great time. I enjoyed it. I know Alan enjoyed it, and very much looking forward to potentially doing this again, and hopefully in October when the basketball team will be there. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. And as always, go Heels.